The plasma bolt screamed through the air with a sound like tearing metal. Oliver didn't think. His body moved on pure instinct. Years of combat training overriding every survival impulse as he threw himself in front of Princess Eva of the Valorian Empire. The blast hit him square in the chest. White-hot agony exploded through his ribcage. Oliver heard Eva scream his name, saw her pale blue skin and silver eyes wide with horror as he fell. Then darkness swallowed everything. When Oliver opened his eyes, he expected death. What he got instead was considerably more complicated, crystalline. Chandeliers hung from vaulted ceilings that seemed to shift colors with the light. Beings of at least 7 different species stood around his bed, all wearing elaborate robes that practically screamed royalty. At the center stood Eva, her 4-fingered hand gripping his with surprising strength. "He wakes," she breathed, relief flooding her melodic voice. An towering creature with obsidian skin and golden eyes leaned forward. Remarkable. The human survived a K-class plasma discharge at point-blank range. Survived? Oliver croaked. His throat felt like he'd swallowed sand. "How long was I out?" 14 cycles, Eva said softly. "Your heart stopped 3 times during surgery. The physicians said no being in the known galaxy could survive what you endured." She paused, her silvery eyes glistening. "But you're human." "You did." Oliver tried to sit up and immediately regretted it. Pain lanced through his chest, though it was manageable. A reptilian creature in medical whites gently pushed him back down. "Easy, warrior," the physician hissed through his translator. "Your species may have absurd regenerative capabilities, but even you need rest. Why am I here?" Oliver asked, looking around at the assembled nobility. "Where's here, exactly?" Ava's expression grew serious. "You're in the grand palace of the celestial throne. When you took that blast meant for me, you didn't just save my life, Oliver. You changed the course of history." An elegant being with moth-like wings stepped forward. "I am Empress Lithara of the Crystalline Dominion. The assassin's plasma bolt would have killed Princess Eva instantly. Her death would have collapsed the Treaty of 7 Stars and plunged our sectors into war." The Empress inclined her head in a gesture of deep respect. "You prevented a conflict that would have claimed billions of lives." Oliver blinked. I saw someone in danger. I reacted." A being that appeared to be made entirely of flowing water in a containment suit laughed, the sound like rushing streams. "Just reacted," he says. "Prince Thorian of the aqueous realms human, and I've studied your kind extensively. What you call just reacting is what we call incomprehensible bravery. Your species lacks natural armor," added a 4-armed creature wearing a crown of what looked like living flame. "No energy shields, no enhanced density bones, no regenerative nanites in your bloodstream. You're fragile compared to most spacefaring races. Yet you threw yourself in front of a weapon designed to pierce starship hulls," continued Empress Lithara, "to protect someone you'd only known for 3 planetary rotations." Oliver felt heat rise to his cheeks. He looked at Eva, remembering how they'd met at the diplomatic summit. She'd been kind when others had dismissed him as a mere human bodyguard, curious about Earth and its customs. They'd talked for hours about their worlds, their hopes, their fears. "She's my friend," Oliver said simply. "That's what humans do for friends." The assembled royalty exchanged glances that Oliver couldn't quite interpret. Eva squeezed his hand tighter. "The medical scans revealed something else," Eva said quietly. "When the blast hit you, your body did something the physicians had never seen. Your cells began dying and regenerating simultaneously at an impossible rate. You created a buffer zone of constantly cycling tissue that absorbed the energy. Your pain tolerance is also." The reptilian physician searched for words, disturbing. "You should be screaming. The nerve damage alone would incapacitate any being I've treated." Oliver shrugged, which sent another spike of pain through him that he carefully didn't show. Basic training on Earth. We're taught to push through pain. It's just mental discipline. There is nothing basic about it, Prince Thorian said firmly. I've reviewed your military records with your permission. Your species regularly endures conditions that would kill most others. Extreme temperatures, toxic atmospheres, radiation exposure. You call it survival training. Because we're stubborn, Oliver said with a weak grin. Too dumb to quit, my drill sergeant used to say. Not dumb, Eva corrected, her voice thick with emotion. Brave. Impossibly, incredibly brave. Oliver, the 7 kingdoms have agreed to offer you anything within our power. Name it, and it's yours. Oliver looked around at the most powerful beings in the known galaxy, all waiting for his answer. He thought about wealth, power, title, anything he could imagine. Then he looked at Ava's worried face and made his choice. I want to keep doing my job, he said. Protecting you. If you'll have me. Ava's silver eyes widened. You nearly died. You're asking to continue putting yourself in danger? That's what bodyguards do, Oliver said. Besides, someone's got to keep you out of trouble, Princess. Empress Lithera laughed, a sound like wind chimes. The human understands duty as we do. Perhaps our species are not so different after all. Oh, we're very different, said the flame-crowned ruler with something like amusement. Humans are far more insane. I believe that's precisely why they're so effective. As the royalty began to file out, each offering their personal thanks and respect, Eva remained at Oliver's side. When they were finally alone, she leaned close. Thank you, she whispered. For my life. For choosing to stay. Oliver managed a genuine smile despite the pain. Like I said, Princess, that's what humans do for friends. Then I am honored, Eva said softly. To call a human my friend. Outside the medical bay windows, stars wheeled in infinite configurations, and somewhere in that vast cosmos, humanity had just earned itself a new reputation. Not as the weakest species or the most fragile, but as the ones who would stand between danger and those they cared for, no matter the cost. And for Oliver, watching Ava's grateful smile, that was exactly the legacy he wanted to leave. The end.